Boris Johnson has been warned his prospective free trade deal with Australia could decimate the British farming industry as opposition parties unite against that zero-tariff agreement. Senior cabinet ministers were set to meet on Thursday morning to discuss the proposed deal, with several ministers believed to be against the plan pushed by International Trade Secretary Liz Truss. Labour's shadow International Trade Secretary Emily Thornberry warned the government not to strike a deal just to prove a political point about Britain's post-Brexit economic independence. I don't think there's likely to be a country around the world that is going into a deal saying, well, yeah, it may decimate our farming industry, but we need to have a deal in order to prove some political point, Ms. Thornberry told Sky News on Thursday. The Labour frontbencher added, "Why would we want to undermine our farming industry? We have high standards in our country of animal welfare and food production, and we don't want that undermined by cheap imports of food not produced to the same standard." A major rift has reportedly opened in cabinet over a deal being negotiated by Mr. Truss with Australia over concerns about the damage done by granting tariff-free access to UK markets. Environment Secretary George Eustice, or as I say, useless, and Cabinet Minister Officer Michael Gove understood to be against allowing tariff-free access, with Ms. Truss and Brexit Minister Lord Frost pushing for it. Yeah, Frosty, of course. The nation's farmers' union, the NFU, and other farming groups have warned ministers they would struggle to compete if zero-tariff trade on lamb and beef went ahead. Both the SNP and Plaid Cymru have also voiced strong opposition to the plan, arguing that it would undercut Scottish and Welsh farmers. On Wednesday, the SNP's Westminster leader Ian Blackford told Mr. Johnson he was preparing to throw the farming and crofting community under the Brexit bus. Plaid Cymru's international trade spokesperson, and please forgive me, Hyle Williams, said a zero-tariff deal with Australia would devastate the Welsh farming industry for generations. And he added the Prime Minister is again showing his willingness to sacrifice Welsh agriculture for cheap political gain. However, Ms. Truss has insisted British farmers will not be undercut by any agreement with Australia amid fears over imports of lamb and beef. Speaking to MPs on the Commons International Trade Committee on Wednesday, she said, "I have had discussions with the National Farmers Union. I've been very clear with them that British farmers will not be undercut by unfair practices from elsewhere." And Ms. Truss added, "We will make sure in all the deals we do that British farming thrives, and I'm absolutely confident that will be achieved through the Australia deal." And yeah, Liz Truss with a great Japanese deal and the cheese. I don't trust that government as far as I can throw them. I said that before and I'm saying that again. But the point is, that is a very interesting thing. Because there you have one of the reasons why we still have the Northern Ireland troubles. And you might think, now what does the Australia deal have to do with Northern Ireland? It's quite easy. As I explained in other videos, the EU offered the UK to align the food standards between the EU and the UK. In that case, 90% of the checks at the border in the Irish Sea between Great Britain and Northern Ireland wouldn't be necessary anymore. So 90% of all the trouble we have for Britain new rules, it's old rules for everybody else, but for Britain new rules would be gone. Just poof, and they would be gone. But that would make this deal with Australia impossible. Because for that deal, the UK will have to allow lower standards. And that wouldn't be allowed if they align the food standards with the EU. Of course, you can have a deal where Australian food and everything complies to EU standards. They are negotiating a deal with Australia at the moment as well. But it takes more time because they're not just granting everything as the UK seems to have done. And this case would undermine a deal with the EU if the UK does that. And that is one of the main reasons why we still have so much problems with the checks on the borders in the Irish Sea. And there you have your explanation why Boris Johnson didn't just take the offer from the EU. If he's always saying our food standards are higher than the EU's, so where's the problem? Then they don't have to go higher to make that deal and bring stuff in the EU without all those checks. No, he wants to make trade deals with other countries that go below those standards. One is Australia, the other one is the USA. Yeah, I know the whole chlorinated chicken thing, but it's not always only a chlorinated chicken. There's many other things. But there you have your reason why he is not taking an easy path to take a lot of the problems away from the Northern Ireland Protocol. And if you want to stay informed, please subscribe to my channel. Auf Wiedersehen.